Yeah. So good morning, everybody, and thank you, Dr. Nitin, for those kind words. I'm going to talk on IL power calculation in Cornell Ecclesia. Um, no financial interest, of course. Now, if we see such cases, they can be broadly divided into five categories with the level of difficulty I have written on the right hand side. If you see keratoconus, keratoglobus, and PMD, that is level one. When we have done something to the keratoconus, like topo guided procedure or intacs or CPR, it becomes level 2, and post lactic ectasia becomes level 2, whereas post lactic ectasia with some procedure done on top is become difficulty level 3. There are many difficulties getting good care reading. Anterior posterior ratio of the corneal curvature is altered, which is normally typically 0.82. And prior refractive surgery complicates the matter because the AP ratio gets altered twice. Prior intacs or topo guided PRK probably simplifies the matter because the cornea is becomes smoother, regular, and we are able to take K readings and make some sense for the central topo. Then because of all this, you can get a false ACD and difficult to predict estimated lens position. Uh, so before deciding about the spherical power, we must decide about the toric IOL, whether to go ahead with the toric IOL or not. For that, the first prerequisite is that the central 3 millimeter of the topo has to be fairly regular, and there have to be repeatable, reproducible, consistent key readings on at least two machines, preferably three machines. Okay. Then we try to understand the new retics classification, which I will explain on the next slide. And fourth point is debulking the astigmatism. So once you have decided with toric IOL, it is important to tell the patient that we are not going to get rid of the total astigmatism, but we are going to significantly reduce it. Now, previous classifications of keratoconus are based basically on the topography. However, that is not a very good idea because the functionality, quality of vision is not considered. Retics classification includes all this. So besides topo, it also considers the best corrected visual acuity, the K readings, astigmatism in diopters, of course, and the higher aberrations that in the RMS, in the microns, and the Q value. So with all this, we are able to fairly understand how good the quality of the vision of the patient is. And as you go from grade 1 to grade 4 plus, the quality of the vision uh, deteriorates. Now here is an example, a patient of best corrected visual acuity of 0.98 and a stable refraction of minus 4.5 diopter sphere and minus 4 cylinder. We were able to consistently get K readings on this patient. So this was the retics classification 1. Mind you, on topo this looks like a big keratoconus, but on retics this is grade 1, and we got a favorable result by doing toric IOL. Now, when it comes to spherical IOL, let us divide the retics into further two parts: retics grade 1 and 2, and retics 3 and above. Retics grade 1 and 2, the calculations are comparatively simple, and therefore we have got only three choices. Number one, for those who have Pentacam, use regression formula with EKR 6.5 and a refractive index of 1.3375. Of course, the K readings have to be reproducible, which I already explained first. Holiday 2 is the best suited for EKR, but if you don't have Holiday 2, Holiday 1 will also work. Um, and most of the people have access to Holiday 1, but you can try all this in SRKT also. Of course, this is not scientifically proven up till now. Then the second approach is Barrett approach. So there are three ways we can go. Two ways we can go. Number one is Barrett through K and Barrett through K TK with swept source OCT. Barrett-Ruke TK, I do not have a personal experience up till now. My machine has not been upgraded to this. The third is ray tracing, but enough data is not available for us to say that this method is very good. And therefore, using regression formulae with EKR of 6.5 and Holiday 1, that is one method. And second is Barrett-Ruke method, using taking the help of AAPS website. You will get two readings and you can choose either the average or the best, whatever you feel the best. Now, Barrett-Ruke, there is one important point is that we have to choose the measured posterior corneal astigmatism, not the estimated posterior corneal astigmatism. So we are feeding the anterior and then we also feed the posterior. It will do vector summation and find out what is the net vector. And we also have to use refractive index of 1.3375. Barrett typically gives you two options. Out of that, we have to choose refractive index of 1.3375. This is a paper which illustrates that when refractive surgery, prior to refractive surgery, what is the power of the patient plus measured PCA, if they are fed into the calculator, Barrett-Ruke performs better. Over here, there is no question of feeding in the prior refractive error, but if you feed in measured PCA, certainly it gives a very good result. Then Barrett-Ruke TK, I do not have experience as I already said, but Barrett-Ruke TK improves the predictability of the refractive outcome by almost 12%, which is a huge jump compared to the kind of difficulties we are having up till now. So you see that this is a difficult topic and uncharted area up till now, but slowly we are finding solutions to this. Then we go to IOL power calculation for ratings grade 3 and above. Now there are two points here. Number one is that we have novel choices, and second is we have got conservative choices. So novel choices, the first novel choice is a two-step approach, where first you do cornea smoothing procedure by either doing Intacs or topography, depending upon the topography maps of the patient, which will convert hopefully the ratings of the keratoconus from grade 3 to 4 to grade 1 or 2. And then we take the approach which has been explained in the previous slides. Here, C3R may not be necessary if the cornea is sufficiently thick and the patient is 65-year-old, because keratoconus is very unlikely to progress. Then we think of CEOZ. That is the second novel approach. This is a very unique approach, but not easy to follow. CEOZ stands for Central Effective Optical Zone. So this is a subjective calculation. Remember, in severe keratoconus, the visual axis may fall on the slope of the keratoconus, and therefore first determine the visual axis and then determine the optical zone. That is, draw a circle of 2.7 to 3 millimeters around this visual axis. Okay, which you have to do actually on the map. Take 12 points on this circle. Take corneal readings power of these 12 points and take an average, and use this in a whatever formula you want to use. So the in detail paper is available by Jared Dirani et al. Of Beirut Eye Hospital. So you can search for this. Then we go to conservative approaches. So in IOL power grade 3 and above, first we saw the two novel approaches. This is the slide. Okay, two-step approach and CEOs that I explained. And then now we go to conservative approaches. Why you require conservative approaches? Three reasons. Number one, patient is very happy with poor vision, undiagnosed keratoconus. Contact lens happy patient. That means keratoconus is known, but a contact lens with contact lens is having really good vision. And third is safety. The situation is so awkward that it is very difficult to decide what to do. In all these three, we must go for spherical IOL, and then contact lens if required. So what is the take-home message? Number one, let us start using the Retics classification, which gives visual quality and functionality to the keratoconus classification. Decide the toricity first, depending upon the central 3 millimeter of the topo. Then number three, if feasible, do some smoothing or regularization procedure to lower the retics grade. Then for grade 1, 2, there are two approaches, EKR with Holiday and Barrett Rutte with SSOCT with MPCA stands for measured post-corneal astigmatism. And for grade 3, there are two novel choices. Number one is smoothing procedure followed by grade 1 approach, and central second approach is central effective optical zoom. And for grade 3 and above, we go conservative, that means go for spherical power and contact lens if feasible. Thank you very much.